had to like mute this person's name like on social media because I was getting triggered. I grew up watching her on Disney Channel. I think this is some random blonde girl that wants to have smoke with me. This bitch don't touch me. Like, that is a big no-no. This ain't what it looks like. I promise you, the black couch ain't what it looks like. Is the lighting better? Anything ghetto that's on here that needs to go? Sorry. Like, obviously it's a kitchen and I use it, but I don't want to look like I use it. Hi guys, it's Colin Berry. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. These stories that I'm about getting ready to tell are stories that I have been holding on to for a long time. The only people who have ever heard them are my close inner circle. And that's just because, you know, like, do I want to share this? Do I not want to share this? I think I should. So for all my OGs that used to watch me back in the day, comment down below if you're one of those people. We used to do a thing called exposing the rudest YouTubers I met, and God, were there a lot of those bitches. But today I wanted to try to up the ante a little bit, and we're gonna talk about exposing the rudest celebrities that I've ever met. But we're not actually calling it exposing because I think it's a little nicer and a little less like I'm gonna get dragged by their stands. Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was one of the first people that made me want to even be an actor when I was little because I just watched so many things. Well, actually, it wasn't so many things. It was Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo too. Fast forward to 2022, I think is the year. I get called to do stand-in for this show on Paramount Plus called Wolfpack. Go check it out if you haven't. Everybody that I worked with, well, not everybody, mostly everybody, was phenomenal. I do have a story of a cameraman screaming at me, but we're not gonna get into that. I had basically gotten called to do the entire season of the show. We didn't know much about the project other than that it was being produced by Jeff Davis, who is a producer of Teen Wolf. One day I go on set and one of my friends who also is a stand-in, she tells me basically like, you're not gonna believe who the fuck's on set today. Because on the call sheet, there was somebody number one that was like an unknown name that nobody knew. It was like some made up shit. And I think it's because they didn't want to spoil who was gonna be on the project. So I'm like, huh? So I'm like, girl, who is it? Because why are they number one on the call sheet when last time I checked, we met the leads of the show? And she tells me, Buffy the fucking Vampire Slayer. That's all she said. She said, Buffy the fucking Vampire Slayer, and I literally go, bitch, don't play with me. I grew up watching Sarah Michelle Gellar like my life depended on it. That's so dramatic. It felt so full circle because anybody in my life would tell you that. Like, I even have videos on this channel. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne, oh my God. And for me to meet her, it kind of felt like a little like manifestation, not gonna lie. It was kind of crazy. So I was a little nervous too because I didn't know, like, was she gonna be nice? Was she not gonna be nice? Sometimes they play the characters a little too wet, and her role on Cruel Intentions, okay, I just didn't know what to expect. So I was like, is this one of those situations where I'm gonna be like disappointed? Anyway, I didn't really have a choice because it's not like it was a meet and greet. This is us working on set. So we're in a scene, I'm standing in for a cop on the scene, so it's not even the character that I stand in for, but they wanted to utilize me. It's like the introduction to her if you watch the show. So when the scene is about getting ready to be blocked, I guess, and we're rehearsing, she comes up to me and my friend and introduces herself to us. She was so nice. Like, actually so genuinely nice. She was telling us basically she's really excited about working on the show and she's happy to meet us. But I just remember feeling very welcomed and her having a very warm, kind energy. So if I'm gonna rate my experience with Sarah Michelle Gellar on set, I would rate it 10 out of 10. Brandy. I met Brandy, can't believe it, icon, legend. Me and my friends were in Los Angeles and we were at the magical world of Harry Potter at Universal. Anyway, tell me why we're in Harry Potter world. I'm sitting over here buying the wand and Brandy walks in. I don't see her, by the way. It's actually my friend Abrion who's like, is that Brandy? And I'm thinking, huh? What do you mean? So she's like, that's Brandy. So I look and I see her and she's walking in with these like fans around her. Like, it's hot in LA. And did she have security? I don't think she did, but she had like some type of badge or something that was like VIP. So I take my little happy ass up to her. Brandy, she seemed a little like, she just wanted to do her thing, and I didn't want to be an annoying person that is like trying to bombard somebody and force them to take a photo. That must be fucking annoying, and I'm sure because she was at Universal, she probably already had people doing that. And I was like, let me see if she actually wants it. I feel like a lot of celebrities try to be nice, so I actually asked her, would you mind taking a photo? If not, like, I get a girl. And she was like, oh baby, let's take a photo. And I was like, really? Okay. So here's my photo. So experience with Brandy, that I'm gonna give a 10 out of 10 to. Oh my God, Keke Palmer, what? I have to include that in this video. Okay, it was one of her concerts that she was doing in Atlanta, and somebody else made this happen. So thank you so much to B-Star PR. So after the show, I got the chance to, take a photo with her and meet her. And I was just drinking, a good old little Shirley Temple, and I had a little too many. It was hitting. I'm a lightweight. I'm such a lightweight that you could blow me away with a leaf blower. Quickly. Matter of fact, not even leaf blower. You could blow me away with an electric fan. That's how lightweight I am, bitch. And I took 2 drinks, not 1, 2. So I was woozy, okay? I was a little tipsy. So I get behind stage, I take a photo with her. She's so nice. But why did I feel the need to do like that drunk people thing where you're like, let me tell you something. I'm like, I can tell you really care about your music. I just know it. In my head, I thought that everything I was saying was very normal. But now I'm like, no, I probably was definitely giving tipsy, bitch. She probably was like, okay. She was really nice about it though. From my interpretation, my tipsy interpretation of this, had a lot of appreciation for what I was saying and actually felt seen. Like she basically said, yes, like I've been working hard at this for a while and I really am passionate about this in ways that I don't think people necessarily think. And that was kind of the point I wanted to make, but of course I did it like, it's interesting. It's like we all think we know Kiki because we grew up with her, but we don't. But when you meet her in person, it's exactly like what you would think it would be, if that makes sense. So my experience with her would be 8 out of 10, and not because of her, because of me. I think that I would prefer to have been sober maybe, but maybe the liquid courage like let me have more of a good combo with her that I probably wouldn't have had if I was sober, because I can be quite anxious in social settings in general, which people don't know about me. Everyone thinks I'm this crazy extroverted bitch. I actually have quite a bit of social anxiety. Now we're gonna start getting into like the more chaotic situations. I mean, the Kiki one was kind of chaotic because I was tipsy, but these ones are definitely way more chaotic. And the next one is probably one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me in my entire existence. And I promise you, for a long time, I had to like mute this person's name like on social media because I was getting triggered. They didn't do anything themselves. It was the entire situation that just left a horrible taste in my mouth. Now I can laugh at it. I think the girl is amazing and super talented, and I want everything great for her. Like, I grew up watching her on Disney Channel, honey, so love her. But let's just talk about it, okay? Some of y'all know about this because I made a video about it, but some of y'all definitely don't. Coco Jones. So this is what happened. So what had happened was, I had gotten invited to interview Coco Jones. This was during that time where she was making her music come back, and she had just gotten on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but she had gotten signed to Def Jam, and they were throwing like, basically, I don't know if it was a listening party. It could not have been, because nobody could hear shit. It was very loud in that bitch, and if you watch the video back, you will see it. I don't think it was a listening party. I think it was like a mixer or something, but they were having an event where she was getting interviewed essentially on a red carpet to talk about her single at the time. I had never interviewed anybody before. And I am one of those type of people. I'm a Gemini. I do a little too much. Every time I do something, I do a little too much because I want everything to be like at a certain standard. I'm learning to like lower my expectations and just have more fun with it. I hired an entire videographer, not kidding, to come to this with me because I wanted this to be Entertainment Tonight level like interview. I was like, if we're gonna do an interview, bitch, we're gonna do a motherfucking interview. So I got all prepared for this event. I prepped for this. Like, I had questions ready, 3 questions because I didn't know how long it was gonna go. 3 very well thought out questions. It was supposed to be quote unquote an exclusive event. I was told that I was going to have an interview with her. Like, that is exactly what was said, okay? So that is what I came to do. I get there. Everybody in their mamas in Atlanta is in this room. It is loud, it is chaotic. And this was during like COVID times a little bit too, so I was already very anxious about going because I did not want to get COVID. And it wasn't like COVID like 2020. This was like 2020, was it 2022 maybe? It was within that time frame where it was kind of like, do I want to go out? People were going out, but let's be real, bitches in Atlanta were going out even during the fucking pandemic when there was a shutdown in other states. Everybody and their mamas is there. I'm really like, oh my God, I thought this was a classy party.
Oh my God. I thought this this was a classy party.
I'm glad everybody showed up for her though, because I'm sure she probably felt the love, but that's where things got very disorganized. That was the starting point, is that we had to come in, the press, which I was considered, had to literally sign in when we got there, and we were supposed to be interviewing in order of the sign-up sheet. I was probably the third person there. I made sure I was punctual and on time. I signed my name on this damn thing, honey, and for some reason, they do like maybe one interview and they push her off the carpet because it's so chaotic, and then she starts to do other stuff throughout the event. So I'm just waiting for her to come back to the carpet.
Coco had to step away. It got a little chaotic. I think she's doing like a photo op, so I'm just gonna wait to interview her, but we're right here waiting, okay?
They're telling us she's gonna come back to the carpet. I'm sitting here in line at the carpet while everyone else is leaving, trying to chase her around, trying to get photos, trying to whatever. I'm like, I came here to do a job, which I mean, it wasn't really a job, I wasn't getting paid. It was really volunteer work. I wanted to make a good interview out of this. So for me, I was taking it very seriously. I was acting like I was a fucking reporter, honestly, y'all. I really need to stop, but I really did. So I sat here at this carpet, was first in line. Nobody was even in the line. Everybody left. I was like, I'm just gonna wait till she comes back so I can be first, get this interview, and then I can enjoy the rest of the night. But for me, until I got the interview, I wasn't gonna feel good about it. There's not even anybody in the line at first. When she's getting back on the carpet, then everybody wants to flood over, and it's random people. It's not in order. Like, the structure had been gone. The list was out the fucking window at this point. It was every man for himself, it seems like. So I go, and I'm basically just like trying to ask her the first question, you know? And then, let me say this nicely, because at the time I wanted to be a little more classy about it. I don't care about being classy anymore. Honestly, fuck being classy. This bitch decides to pull me off the carpet. It took so much in me to be composed, because first of all, don't touch me. Like, that is a big no-no. It's completely unprofessional. It's completely not okay. And there's so many levels to why that is just off limits. She's telling me like, you're not on the list. And I'm like, girl, yes I am. I'm on the list. I got invited to this event. She's like, shh. She tells me, shh. Not everybody's gonna get an interview. Patronizing me, basically. In my mind, I'm thinking, bitch, who's being loud? She let somebody behind me in front of me. Huh? So come to find out, the girl wasn't even the one who worked for the event. She was an intern for something else associated with it, and she had no jurisdiction to dictate who interviewed who to begin with, and she also damn sure didn't have jurisdiction to put her hands on me. So let's start there.
Let's start there.
Now, this was embarrassing because I'm sitting over here trying to interview Coco. I'm getting snatched off in front of Coco looking like I'm crazy. Because if I were Coco and a bitch is trying to interview me and they get snatched on the carpet, I'm thinking, ooh, it's ghetto. And even her face, I'm like, oh God, this is so embarrassing. So for a while, I was like, I can't see Coco Jones. It's just gonna bring me back to like this time this girl put her hands on me on this carpet and I got dragged off, and it was just it's embarrassing to get dragged off a carpet. Like I'm some type of criminal. Like I'm trying to sneak to do something I don't got no business doing when I was invited to the event. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, because I can stay my ass at home. Coco has nothing to do with this. I just want to clarify. I think she is super talented, and even the guy that was working with her was kind of looking like, huh, why you snatched him off the carpet? I know she doesn't have anything to do with the situation. I know that, you know, she seems like a cool girl. I can't say I know because I've never really met her besides this. Actually, no, I saw her at another event, but I didn't talk to her because I was like, oh my God, like, I can't do this again. But she seems like a really cool girl. I'm actually really rooting for her and actually incredibly proud of her. So nothing bad to say about Coco. But if I had to rate the experience, because the experience was the experience, I would give the experience a 0 out of 10. No, that's dramatic. That's dramatic. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. At the end of the day, like, it was entertaining. It is a story to tell. I did take something from it. Okay, so now let's talk about Sabrina Carpenter, which I feel like a lot of people really wanted to tune in for this one. So let's go ahead and get into the Sabrina Carpenter tea. So I had decided to do background for this project. It was on Amazon. It was called Emergency. I didn't really do a lot of research before I went on to the project, just because at that time I was doing a lot of background, and sometimes it was I was passionate about it, and sometimes I was passionate, but I also wanted to check, not gonna lie. And I liked getting money for being on set. Like, it was fun. It was a fun way to make money. I had loved Sabrina Carpenter since like 2016. On Purpose was my bop. If they had a Spotify rap back then, I'm confident it would have been in the at least the top 5 because I played it so much. That and Never Be Like You by Flume for sure. That's probably number 1. But I did not do my research on this project. I did not know Sabrina Carpenter was really going to be on this project until I found out Sabrina Carpenter was going to be on this project in real time. Basically, I found out Sabrina Carpenter was on the project because I ran into Sabrina Carpenter on the project. Let me set the tone for you. Like, let's visualize this for a minute. So imagine me going into a bar and the floor is sticky and everybody is doing like wardrobe on the first floor and there's a basement. We go downstairs to the basement, there's smoke everywhere, you can barely see anything. It's like red lights, green lights, like hues of just different stuff. It was supposed to be like a club, that's what they were filming. And so they brought some background down there, including me, and there was some background lined up on the walls. I want you to keep in mind, they had a camera setup that was happening in one of the rooms, and I was on the wall close to basically where they were setting up a scene. So I knew that at some point the actor, whoever was gonna be in the scene, was gonna come in or walk off or was rehearsing, whatever. There's this girl with blonde hair. She's short. She's shorty. Keep in mind, it's so easy to make friends in the background. Everyone's so approachable. You just talk to people and make friends, and that was kind of my experience doing it. So all I hear is this short blonde girl. She said something about, oh my God, 6'4". And I was like, who's 6'4"? Because I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't see nobody 6'4". Are you talking about me, honey? Like, what are you talking about? Because I'm 6'2", but I ain't 6'4". So I basically say in the comment, basically like, who's 6'4"? Like, I'm laughing about it pretty much. So she looks at me and says something along the lines of like, well, fuck, clearly not me. So I'm like, oh girl, okay. I'm like, clearly not. I want you to know the key component of this is while this is happening, I do not know this is Sabrina Carpenter. It is pitch black fucking dark. I think this is some random blonde girl that wants to have smoke with me in a witty way. Not like real smoke, but just like, you know, she a little sassy. I'm like, I get sassy too. So I'm thinking, well, clearly not, honey, because you look like you're about 5'2". And basically like, we just kind of go back and forth. And I know she took some drags at my height too. Like she was basically like, I'm not as tall as the security guard. That's what she was referring to, by the way, was the security guard that was in the scene. I don't know if he was her real security or if he was like just a part of like the club scene. I just thought this is just a little blonde girl on the wall. Come to find out, Sabrina fucking Carpenter, who really gagged me. And you know, when I get gagged, I love it. Like that's like kind of like low-key a love language for me.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
When it's like playful, obviously, like it was nothing serious, but when you are having playful banter with me, that is like a love language for me. When you can gag me and leave me speechless, I'm gonna give you your 10s every time, okay? She gets my 10s because she gagged the fuck out of me. So she laughs, because it's funny, like we're having a good old banter. We're laughing, then she walks off and she's like, I gotta go. And I'm like, oh, they using the background now? Good show. And she laughed. Oh my God, what if she thought I was dragging her? Oh, that's iconic, actually. That's when somebody else comes up to me, basically, and is like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like I'm like, what's going on? What's going on, sweetie? Like what's happening? Like the Jennifer Lawrence meme, like, what's happening?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And she's like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, no. Like, should I? Like, who is it, bitch? Tell me, please. And she's like, that's Sabrina Carpenter. And I'm like, bitch, you're lying. She was very short, and I didn't think she was that short. So I, for a minute, thought the girl was kind of lying to me, and then I'm finding out, like, I actually met her. And then I tweeted about it the same day. I'm like, y'all, I just met Sabrina Carpenter. What's going on? So I'm gonna rate my experience with Sabrina Carpenter as a 7 out of 10. Just because I think it would have been probably more funny if I knew it was Sabrina Carpenter in the moment, but because I didn't find out till after, I was just kind of like, oh. Now seeing her big rise in success, I am so happy for her. I went to her Emails I Can't Send tour in Atlanta, actually at the center stage, and it was a smaller venue. Now she is literally doing arenas, like Espresso really put her on the map. Don't know why that had to be the song, even though I do love the song, and I love Please, Please, Please. The girl's been making bops for a long time, and we're not gonna sleep on the other hits that she's been had. We're not gonna sleep on Purpose. We're not gonna sleep on Sue Me. We're not gonna sleep on Why. We're not gonna sleep on Pushing 20. We're not gonna sleep on In My Bed. Bitch, pull it up. We're not gonna sleep on the entire Emails I Can't Send fucking album and the deluxe version. We're not gonna sleep on it, honey. We're just not. We're not gonna sleep on Decode. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. All right, I love y'all so much. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the comments below. Maybe give me some ideas. Let me know if you've ever met any celebrities and if you have, what your experience was like. And I will see y'all super soon with a new video. Bye.